Sheila 89.3
Is a mental health show, so I'm welcoming you to the mental health show this morning. And today on the show we're going to be looking at how to know if you are or if you have internet addiction and what to do about
it. Is a behavioral addiction to talk about.
Okay.
So we have video game addiction. These days a lot of people, you can stay in Ghana and be playing a video game with someone who is in the US, someone who is in Australia, and it's possible. And there are people that stays overnight playing this game almost every time, every day, in every month. So these people become very dependent on this game and realize that if they don't play that game, they don't feel comfortable. Another type is what we call the cyber sex or online sex addiction. So these days, especially with now TikTok becoming very accessible, sometimes people do not even feel shy. Sometimes even during afternoon time, you go on TikTok, a lot of people are talking about sex things and other things. What we know is that people become addicted to those things. And remember, when we talk about addiction, it is something that triggers our reward system. So anything that you do that makes you feel happy about yourself. So for instance, you do something for someone and they praise you, it triggers your reward system. That's why you feel good and you want to continue on that act again.
Okay.
It's just like that same way. That's the same process addiction also manifests. So another form of it is online sex addiction, that a lot of people have become addicted to certain sexual activities online. Another type that we have is online gaming addiction. Okay. So these days, beyond you working physically to go and stake a lotto or to go to any betting center to go and place your bet, people can place it also online. Okay. And this one, by the time we realize, within some few seconds you are crying. And these people have become addicted to it to the extent that
they finish crying and they go back to do it.
They finish crying, but they'll still go back to it. And sometimes they have to go and borrow money to still go back to it, and they'll still come and cry, but still they will still go back to those things. So these are some of the types of internet addiction that we have. But one key thing is that currently within our field, we've not actually included it as a disorder, but we within the field, we don't want to wait till we now classify it as a disorder. Declared. Yes, before we now come and talk about it, because we know that there is something that people are being battling with, that people also need remedy to find themselves or find their way out. If talking about this, someone will say, will you include social media in this? Yes, social media will be included in this, because it's also you are using an electronic device and it's also connected to data or connected to other people. So social media is also included in this. And we have to know that there are certain features or certain facts about internet addiction, and these are facts that researchers have identified that I think is very interesting or very concerning for us as individuals to look at and see how best we can manage our life and also be able to reduce this addiction if we are experiencing it. So the first thing that I would like to talk about is that globally it has been identified that about 1 to 10% of people have internet addiction. Okay. That's the average. And even in certain continents, it even goes up to 25%. For Africa, sometimes we lack a little bit in data, but that is the average that we have globally, that 1 to 10% of people have internet addiction. So in simple terms, what it means is that if you pick 100 people, there's a likelihood that 10 people have addiction to the internet. So those people are either going to be glued to their mobile phones almost all the time, or they are going to be glued to their computers or laptops almost all the time.
All the time, yeah.
Another interesting thing for us to actually take note is that within people who are teens, so children and let's say people who are within their teenage period. Mostly you can talk about 13 to 19 years, but those are people who are we normally call younger people.
Yeah.
With younger people, the risk of having internet addiction is very high, and it can go as high as 44% in younger people. So we have to be careful the way we are exposing our children to electronic devices these days. These days, even by the time the child is 1 year old, already the child has a tablet that we are giving to the child to be using and all those kind of
or
things.
even if they don't have the tablets,
Yeah.
the parents give their
phone
phones to them
to play game and other things.
Yes. So
Yes.
when they are collecting, you don't give. The behavior they will show you in public.
So that is it, and all this has consequences. Maybe later on we will talk about it, but we should know that younger people, if we are exposing them to some of these electronic devices and other things, their risks of being addicted to internet is 44%, which is much higher than if you are matured or if you are grown. And also another interesting thing is that this statistics I'm going to talk about is basically related to the US setting. They've actually realized that, or what they identified in 2020 was that a lot of accidents that was being caused, road traffic accidents that were happening, was related to people usage of a smartphone. So it was related to someone making a call, someone testing, someone browsing, or someone trying to view or stream videos online. Gen Z for no can streaming. Yeah, that's what can be watch video online. But Gen Z for no can streaming. So those who say streaming and watching videos online, it has been established that some road traffic accident too is due to our usage or how glued we are to our smartphone devices, and it caused a lot of accidents within on our roads. And also looking at the time that a lot of people spend online, what has also been established is that, and again this statistics is basically from the US, it has been established that about people spend about 6 hours 37 minutes of their daily hours that they spend during the day online. So we have 24 hours, and someone is spending 6 hours of that 24 hours online. So you ask yourself, you are going to sleep about sometimes 8 to 12 hours. So oya mathematics na akase, so the other 8 hours krana ya the 6 that's 14 hours. So more than half of your day, it means that you are going to spend it doing nothing.
Okay.
As an individual, which is very negative, not to only you but to the entire society. So if you are addicted, you are not only even affecting yourself, you are also affecting other people
Others,
as well, because you are becoming unproductive, and we don't want you to become unproductive. We need to develop. So you can realize that a lot of people these days are now spending much of their time on internet, doing a lot of things on the internet. The issue is that we don't have any problem if you are using the internet to work, you are using it to generate any productive thing. No, this is not what we are talking about. This is particularly about sometimes those people that you realize that by you want to do something, but by the time you realize you've stayed on TikTok, you've gone to Facebook, you've gone to WhatsApp, and by the time you realize maybe you spent 3 hours within your day, and you now begin to realize that, oh, I've just wasted my time. That is what we are talking about. It is not about someone that is working with a laptop or working with a PC.
Yeah.
So with internet addiction, this is something that is very real now, and especially with the Gen Z people, everything that they do, people want to be on their phone. Even these days, when people want to just kill a little time, so the person goes somewhere, the person that you are going to says, oh, just wait a little while and let me come to you. By the time you realize the person is on their phone, they want to kill time. We cannot stay still without actually touching our phones. So this is a very important thing for us to take note. AKB.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Barnabas, for introducing us into what internet addiction is. So with all that you have said, I know you have touched on some, but then what shows, okay, that one is addicted to the internet?
Okay. So with this, I'm just going to simplify it into four main things so that our listeners will understand it very well. So the first thing that I'm going to talk about is obviously the excessive use of the internet. So within you yourself, you know that this time you had a deadline to meet and your work is there. But by the time you realize, you scroll through TikTok for more than 1 hour, for more than 2 hours, and sometimes you don't even meet that deadline. Or later on, afina, oh baby people, now I work. If you realize that most of the time, by the time you realize you spend a lot of your time on any of these social media platforms or on the internet, and the activities that you need to do is not being done, that is one sign. That is,
Okay.
it means that you are excessively using internet, and you could be dependent on internet,
Yes.
and in that way round you could be addicted to the internet. Sometimes too, for you to know that you are excessively using internet, people has to complain about it. So sometimes we do some of these things without actually knowing. So you go to the workplace and realize that this particular person, of late, when a person comes, he comes and very glued to their mobile phone, pressing, sometimes smiling, giggling, and other things. And this becomes very continuous. Yes. So it becomes continuous, and when people begin to complain about it, you should know that it is a problem. Because if it wasn't a problem, people would have shut up about it.
Yeah.
And at the first place, you are at the workplace. What is your business staying on phone throughout the period? So when people complain about it, we should know that it is becoming a problem that we need to take note of. Another thing is that sometimes you cannot stay just a few minutes without touching your phone and going online. So if you realize that you are that person, any little thing you want to touch your phone and see whatever that is going online, you want to turn around, you want to touch your phone that is that you are going on, right? This place that we are riding motorbike, sometimes you even see people sitting behind someone on the motorbike and still
behind or riding.
No, the person sitting behind. Still.
And I'm saying behind, they say you have nothing to do with, but people are riding.
Yes. And
so that's even where the risk is. Say behind all the autonomous and away on him.
That is another trend that normally we see. That someone will be riding and still be busily pressing their phone. So sometimes by the time
some
you
will
realize,
be busy taking selfie.
Yes.
Whilst riding.
You selfie. Enemy hui.
Moto.
Someone for money. So by the time you realize, you are likely to bump into that person. So this is something that you should know. So any few moments that you cannot spend alone without touching your phone or without going online, you should know that you are becoming dependent on internet, and you have to take a step about it. And also another key thing is that there are certain people, they will realize that, hey, as of these days, the way I'm using a online in the anamico internet in the ayana too much, but this person will try to cut it down and stop, and will go back again, cut it down and stop. So if you have also tried to reduce your online usage or your internet usage, and you realize that you try and you fail, then it means that there is a likelihood that you become addicted to it. That is why you try to stop and you are not able to stop from it. And also when we also take note of if we are not able to hide how long you have been online, so sometimes it becomes very obvious that people will realize that all the time or all the day you spend a lot of time online, and you yourself, you even try to hide it, but you can't hide it anymore, because it has become very clear to everyone that this is the activity that you are engaging. So all these things talks about how we use internet excessively, and when we are using it excessively, that is one sign for us to take note of. The next sign that I would like to talk about is what we call withdrawal. Okay. And with withdrawal, it is also related to other forms of addiction. So for instance, when we talk about alcohol addiction, we have withdrawal as a symptom there. When we talk about gambling addiction, we have withdrawal as a symptom there. When we talk about other forms of addiction with drugs, we have withdrawal as a symptom there. And withdrawal simple means that when you have used the internet for a very long time, and now you try to pull out. When you realize that the way you are using it is not that helpful, and you are now trying to pull out, your body will now be prompting.
It will also be pulling you there.
It will pull you back, prompting you. Go. They be no pebia sa de we na ode mami koko, and then the old mami koko nti. So that is what it will be doing to you. So you realize that you are going to feel very uncomfortable without going online. And these days, even with phone, when phone is not even on, a lot of people, you realize that their day become very miserable. They are not really able to engage in anything. So if you are experiencing this, then realize that if you don't go online, you become very uncomfortable, your mood changes, you become very discomforting and other things. You should know that you are experiencing withdrawal symptoms because you are not using the internet.
Okay.
And with these people, the moment they go online, the moment you experience it, you should know that you are experiencing a withdrawal symptom because of an internet addiction. The next thing that I will talk about is what we call tolerance. And with tolerance, it's also cut across other forms of addiction. What it just means is that if you are using internet for a very long time, or let's say you start, so sometimes we just don't start to be on the internet for like 6 hours. So it might start 30 minutes, and as time goes on, internet not 30 minutes, you don't feel really fulfilled, so you want to do it more. So the more you are doing it, you now move to 1 hour. It will get to some time the 1 hour will not be enough for you. You have to top it up. You get to 2 hours. You get to 3 hours. So that is what it means by tolerance. You start small. By the time you realize you've increased it to a certain level that is becoming too much for you. So when you also realize that it's becoming that too much, then you should know that it is also a sign that we have to take note of. The next and the last thing that I would like to talk about is that with every form of addiction, we normally experience what we call negative repercussions from it. So for instance, if it is related to alcohol addiction, sometimes people develop liver conditions related to it. And these people that will develop liver conditions, they will come, you perform a test for them to do, and they will realize that, oh yes, this shows that my liver is damaging. But I bet you, what the man in free office or so what it means is that the negative repercussions is not able to drag the person or let the person stay away from it. So when you are someone that you've used internet to the extent that you realize that sometimes that spoil your relationship because again now on or say 10 biano or until on can but 10 bia or online, but because of I've been a video been a streaming this no ne issue cry any issue, it has spoiled your relationship, but still you are still there and you are not able to change your attitude about it. It has also impacted your work. You can be someone that will be using excessive internet, and you can have issues with your boss at the workplace. But if you are this person and despite all these negative things you still go back to do it, then you should know that you are actually addicted to internet. The good thing is that for some people the negative aspect of these forms of addiction is able to scare them and they don't go back to do it. Okay. But for some people, and a lot of people who in can say time, those people, it becomes very difficult for them to even come out of it or stop. Even though what them me biology teacher say you should stand in it, don't fall in it. But we they falling in it. They are having negative issues about it, but still they will still go ahead to be going on the internet despite the negative consequences that is causing them. And sometimes these things come with issues with sleep as well, because if you have been on the internet for a very long time, people spend the whole of their night being on the internet and they don't get enough rest and other things. It can cause you other physical conditions, but still these people still go to it. So if you realize that you are experiencing these four main things, which the first one is the excessive use of it, the second one is withdrawal. If you stop using it, you realize that you are feeling uncomfortable, and the third one is you realize that your usage is started small and you have to be increasing it continuously, and the fourth one is you are having negative repercussions, negative issues with it, but still you still go ahead to do it. then you should know that you are having internet addiction.
Okay, so with all these signs that you showed us and how serious it is, because you're trying to pull out and it's also trying to pull you
Sure.
in, what do you do if you have an internet addiction?
Okay, so thank you very much. So normally this the good part that I normally want to talk about, or the happiest part that I normally want to talk about. With some of these things, there are ways for us to manage it, and just as we come to talk about it, we are talking about it because there are ways that we can find a good way, or we can find a better way to help you manage some of these things so that it doesn't escalate to spoil your work, to spoil your relationship with other people, or to cause you any other negative thing. For instance, people who are into the cyber sex, or who are online sex addicts, for those people it can even land you in jail, especially if you are caught with child pornography and those kind of things. So we don't want you to go through these kind of processes. We know that there are forms that there are ways that we can help you manage your addiction. And the first thing is that there's a saying that a problem identified is half solved, or so. I don't know whether I'm getting it right. So if you have a problem and you know
problem
that,
shared,
yes, okay,
it's half solved.
okay.
Yeah.
So with that, you have to acknowledge that you are having the addiction. Okay, so the first thing is that if you have the addiction and you yourself, you know that, or if you identify that you are having the addiction, the work becomes easier. So that one, I don't have to come and prove to you that, oh,
you have it.
AKB, the way I will use who are there, no, you are having addiction, and you come and tell me that, oh,
Entisa.
But if you yourself realize it, that one, the work becomes easier. Then we can move on to the next thing that we can do to help you. Another thing that we can do is that now you can create a schedule for yourself.
Okay.
So you've realized that most of the time you spend it on the internet. Now you can create a schedule for yourself and try to meet those schedules. We are not saying that if you create that schedule, it's going to be easier for you to just meet that schedule. But have the mindset to do something for yourself, to initiate something, to try to combat that particular issue. So when you create a schedule for yourself, at least you have a routine that during the day you want to follow. If you are not even able to meet every routine, there is going to be a couple of them, yes, that you are going to meet. And that's a starting point for us in there. Another key thing is that you can also practice what we call mindfulness.
Okay.
So mindfulness is just, you can use a form of meditation. And mindfulness just talk about we focusing on what we are experiencing within the present moment. So we not worrying about issues that have passed, or we worrying about issues in the future. Issues that are in the past, we cannot do anything about it, whether you like it or not. It has happened already. And issues in the future, we are not God. We just only hope that things could be right for us. But we are not God, because we don't actually know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
But there are some people that normally they are so worried about what is going to happen in the future. And normally if you think about something good going to happen in your future, you don't feel that distress about it. The only problem comes with people who become very worried and they feel like something bad is going to happen to them in the future. So with mindfulness, we practice what we are experiencing within the current moment. So for instance, we are all breathing air. We are feeling the cold breeze of this weather. So we are also even feeling cry in the process. So you concentrate your mind on something that you are experiencing within the present moment, and not focusing on the past or the future and letting them distract us. And with that, it has a way. The technique here is that it has a way to help us relax. Remember, I said internet addiction, even though people become addicted to the internet, they are also doing it as a means of coping with a particular stress. Okay, so once that stress is there, mindfulness comes in to help us relax. And if that stress is not there, it means that our likelihood of going to the internet to go and use the internet to calm that stress will not be there. So that is what mindfulness also does, to help you to manage your internet addiction. Then we can also set device-free times. So this is something that you can practice by yourself. So you tell yourself, at this particular time within the day. So if, for instance, you are about to eat, you don't pick your phone. These days, even people send their phone to their washrooms, and when they are bathing, there are things that are going on in there. You can also say, by the time that you are going to sleep, you are not going to touch your phone. So depending on how you want things to be, you set a device-free time for yourself, and don't just set it, but make up your mind that you want to follow it. Sometimes we are good at setting some of these targets for ourselves, but we don't make the intention to follow them. So you have to set those device-free times and try to encourage yourself to follow it. The next important thing is that you have to identify your triggers.
Okay.
So all of us, we know certain things that happen to us that normally predisposes us to going to pick our phone, to go online, to scroll and other things. A lot of people, when you approach them, what they'll tell you is that they are doing it when they are bored. But ask yourself, what caused the boredom? So if you are able to solve what caused the boredom, it means that you will not be needing that internet, or you will not be needing to stay online for that very long time to kill that boredom. So we need to go to the root cause of it. So we have to find those things that are triggering those our stresses that we pushes us to go pick our phone to stay online for a very long time. So for some people, you realize that when you have a bad day, you want to actually go online, and by the time you realize, it has taken a lot of your time, which, for instance, you can just call someone, talk to someone, and within minutes it could have been resolved for you. But you are going to stay online for hours, and sometimes you may not even get any good thing from it. Even though you are going to spend that particular time that you are online, you are going to feel okay. But the moment you are back and you are not using it, your emotions are going to come back. So we need to find a root cause of it. So you identify anything that pushes you to more or less use or go on the internet and stay on the internet for a very long time. And another key thing is that we need to find alternative activities.
Okay.
So instead of you going online and staying online for a very long time, is there a particular thing that you can do that could also help you within the period? If you are bored, if you are sad, if you are not feeling that, if you are feeling discomforted, is there a particular activity? And some of these activity could be to read, to talk to someone. You read, you talk to someone. You can even go out, go watch a football match, or go watch people going about. Even sometimes people who even stay closer to the roadside, sometimes you even see people just sitting by the roadside, just watching cars passing. Yes, it's even keeping their mind active, and they are not getting addicted to any other thing. So you can find any other alternative that is not related to you going back to use your device or you going back to use the internet. And once that thing is helpful, then you can keep on to that. Sometimes too, it can even be those days when we were kids, we used to play Ludo a lot. It's once a while that when I pass through town, I see some of the men still playing the Owari and those kind of things. But those were things that we used to do, and it was fun. People were not having mobile phone, but they were still happy. And we should know that even though there is now mobile phone and people feel that the mobile phone is making them happy and other things, especially there are a certain group of people that are using a particular phone. You realize that when any new phone of that particular thing comes, people are in a haste to go and get it. If that particular device was to be able to give you that maximum satisfaction, that maximum happiness, then the moment you get it, you should be okay. But anytime there is a new release, we are craving, we want to get that new one again, because the old one that we are using is not giving us that satisfaction again. And we should know that before the internet, people were happy, people were enjoying life, people were going about their duties, and they were flourishing. So without your phone, you can still be happy, you can still enjoy life, you can still do things that are going to be meaningful, that are going to be essential for you as well. And one thing that I will add is that even though we are talking about internet addiction, I'm not saying that we using the phone is bad. No, we just have to know how to use it to improve our life. Okay. So in that instance, you can also download productive apps onto your device. So there are apps that can even track your stay on the internet, and it will advise you on certain things that you can do to help yourself. So you can download some of these apps to even track you. These days we even have apps that are tracking your walking, your steps, and other things. So you can download some of these tools that can help you and advise you on how to spend your time using your phone, using your laptop, or using your computer. Then also we should also limit social media. Of course, we staying online, or if people are going to be addicted to internet, a lot of it is going to come from social media. And with social media, the intention is created to grab your attention, for you to stay there longer. They want you to stay there longer, and we have also seen that you staying there longer is not anything productive to you. And if you listen to rich and successful people, all of them have those internet social media accounts and other things. But sometimes when they are advising you, they will now come back to tell you that I didn't spend all my time scrolling through social media. So we have to tell you that if you are spending all your time moving or scrolling through there, it means that you are not being productive. And you cannot be like that rich man that is still having that account there, that is educating people or directing people to become like them. We can also create a technology-free zone for ourselves. So for instance, if you're having a full house, you can decide that if you are doing a particular thing, you are working in your work room or other things, you are not going to send any phone there to distract you, so that you can focus and increase your productivity whilst you are at that particular place. So we can create that surrounding for ourselves. And in all this, we have to set goals. So we have to set a target that with this that I'm starting, I want to be able to do it up to this time. Then after this time, I want to be able to graduate or move it up to another level. And the last and important thing is that if you try all these techniques that I've talked about, now still, what they are pay, it's not working. The mental health professionals are there. The government is paying them. They are going to help you. So if you tried all these techniques that I've talked about and it's still not working for you, there are people that are ready, and the government continues to support them to be there to help you in times of these kind of things. If you are having addiction, any form of addiction, so you shouldn't be worried about it. You can come and we help you to manage, or we help you to come out of some of these things. So AKB, these are some of the ways that we can use to help ourselves in this moment.
Obi are addicted. Obi are guilty.
Yes.
Except the BBC phone on there. Ebi are just hello asa. Born before computer phone. If not, everybody. So, because imagine, say out here, if you had made a mistake and left your phone home,
you feel miserable.
But you have it with you, and you even realize, hey, you are not even using it for anything. No. But the fact that it is not on you, no, you are not free at all.
Recently, me in charge, when you kakra, so me one say on the phone, Emma will be from now. It's all you see yam. So you see yam, no me dream him say so what you see 100 is
who go back to yam.
Anyhow, but she seems to be okay with it.
She's comfortable.
Because for her, even with the smartphone, she was just
using it to say hello, hi. That's
yes. Sometimes WhatsApp in our group and other things, and you realize that she's okay with it. But for me, I was thinking how miserable my life is.
So the yam, how is she going to check them? Do all those things.
So she's not going to check it for the meantime. But she feels that once she can call the people, then she is okay. She's going to manage with it, and that is people that for them their life is not really centered
dependent
around
on
some of these things. The phone, the usage, the internet is good, but we have to know how to use it so that it doesn't worry us. Just look at even the data cost. the amount of data that we are purchasing, and sometimes we told data na him. I say almost all my so still na
you so you hushi be I been with Twitter data 10 gig 2 days was after me. Hey, me data na sa send me another 10. I'm saying you turn 10 I dey. To 2040 na you say what up rekoda. What 10 gig. Now within 2 days asadia. Any blah. Mama send you 40. And I said 20 mum. 20 no cry 2 days 10 gig. It means 2 days. That's even 20 gig no cry 1 week cry.
On say you use na sasa na. You sound to 10 gig na. Eh say oh we
me
use na check akra. But how realize no. And those other content class may be a first one now you see it.
I asemo. And people here mobile. Barnabas here that's it. Yeah, that's a pa because we know what my young who say addiction no. Even internet crano, you can be addicted to it. Sure. It's part of it. Into nobody is safe. Yeah. Trust me, nobody is safe. So let's pick your final words and then we wrap up.
Okay. So I want to say a good morning to my in charge, Mama Yvonne back at West Hospital, and my HR, Madam Getty at West Hospital. Today, my people didn't come, but
but
wherever they are, good morning to them, and good morning to Captain, wherever he is in his bunker too. Good morning to him as well. And we thank Fela FM for always giving us this opportunity to come and educate the people of Tamale and Ghana, to be precise. In fact, Mama Yemubi, I celebrate it. So I come now, hey. So we thankfully. I'm
voice na no more. Barabas, yeah.
I think that me kokasa o baby na papa ni say I say
voice yes Matida.
No baby. So okay can say what for Fela FM na I'm saying no say hey. Any me tell you mo pa. So West Hospital I'm saying.
When you maybe na.
And we thank Fela FM for giving us this opportunity to always educate the people of Ghana. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Barnabas. Thank you also for doing the listening and all those who viewed us on Facebook. We are grateful to you. God willing, next week we'll be right back with another interesting and then important and exciting topic on the mental health show. Thanks to Kumsin Matthew for the Facebook Live. These days, Senior Barnabas kind just a network in so into your Facebook Live no crowd of late. Oh, sha na ejina. Oh, sha na ejina. Yes, Remo. Mona muse mate so young as I want to so much so mama internet no so enyina ho emfa emmaye. So many thanks. My name is Akusia Kwatma Boache. So when the signal is clear, we will surely join the nation's capital for the discussion segment. So many thanks to you all for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the day and the rest of our programs as well. So don't just go anywhere. Let's continue enjoying the program because very soon we'll join the nation's capital and then you listen to the discussion segment.